Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the All About Favorite channel. I am your host, Pastor KZ. Today, I want to talk about the danger of compromise. Now, last week we talked about compromising your peace. So I want to kind of keep going with that topic a little bit. There is danger when you compromise your peace. Think about it. There may have been times in your life where compromise is a good thing and it's a right thing to do at certain times, but then there are times it's not good to compromise. When you compromise, it means you make accommodations or you make concessions, you consent to things to keep the peace or to be the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? Or to just to get along. And sometimes that might not be so good. But at any rate, you need to understand when it's right to compromise and when it's dangerous to compromise. One thing for sure, you should never, ever compromise your moral standards. The way you was raised and the things you believe in and doing what is right, never compromise that for another person. When you begin to compromise your belief systems and you begin to veer over and start doing things that you know you're not comfortable with only to please another person, that is a danger zone. Don't let people talk you into things and convince you to join in and do things that, number one, you know is not right, and number two, you know it compromises your belief system, it compromises you spiritually and emotionally. And some people are in relationships where they do nothing but compromise. You know what happens to people like that? They eventually start to resent that person and they become bitter and angry and they got all of this stuff bottled up inside. And you know what? It's dangerous when you compromise who you are for someone else or you start doing things that compromises your beliefs. You know what happens? You end up getting in trouble. You end up getting yourself in trouble. When you begin to adjust your life and your way of thinking to fit what society is doing, you're on dangerous ground. I know there are all different types of laws and different types of lifestyles people have, but when you begin to compromise your beliefs, you're getting on dangerous ground right there. When you are always the one compromising and negotiating, sometimes you find yourself disappointed. Sometimes the outcomes is disappointing because you're always the person who's backing down. You're always the person who's getting along to get along, holding your peace, just being the bigger person. After a while, y'all, that gets very old when you always the one that's negotiating. Now, one reason you find yourself doing this is because you don't like confrontation. You avoid conflict at all costs. Now, it's understandable to not to like conflict, chaos, and being around combative people. So you kind of like, you know what, I'm just not going to even get into this. I'm not going to address this. I'm just going to let them have their way with something. You know what happens after a while, though, when you don't speak up? What you are doing now is you letting this person feel like they can push you around. They can put their foot on you. They can talk to you any kind of way. At some point, y'all, you will have to put your foot down with people, and you've got to stand up for yourself. Stand up for what is right. If you don't, people are going to walk all over you. They're going to push you around. They're going to think you're weak, and eventually, you know what happens? They don't have no respect for you because you know what? You compromising for the wrong thing. And you're compromising too much when you know what's right, but yet you go along with something that you know is wrong. You don't feel good about yourself either. Your self-esteem, your self-worth goes down when you always is compromising and you begin to feel like people are using you and taking advantage of you. At what point will you speak up for yourself? And some of you are like, well, I don't want to run the risk of losing them. This was in an email last week, and it disturbed my spirit for 2 days, where this woman was saying, some things. She was in a relationship with the person, and she found herself always compromised. She's always the one backing down until she said she was so angry and she just keep it bottled up inside of her. And this person began to just talk to them any kind of way, because then emotional abuse and verbal abuse was in that relationship. And I asked her when we were emailing back and forth, why do you allow this person to talk to you this way if you know this is an uncomfortable conversation? And she said, because I don't want to lose them. I love them and I don't want to lose them. You do know someone being verbally abusive to you, putting you down, calling you out your name, that's not love. That's abuse. And as long as you're compromising what you believe in and who you are, that person gonna keep doing that to you. That email really disturbed me. So if you're the one always bending and giving in, you don't even have no peace. You don't have any peace. You are compromising your peace without even considering your own needs, and you don't set boundaries with people. And when you don't set boundaries and you're always compromising, that is dangerous. And you begin to feel resentment and self-neglect. Remember, there is nothing wrong with expressing yourself in an assertive manner, and you don't have to be yelling and screaming and fussing and fighting, but you've got to let a person know, hey, that's enough of that. Enough. And if a person always got to say, if you love me, you'll do this, this, and this, ask yourself, now I'm going to ask you, what is it that you won't do? You keep compromising. Don't compromise your morals. Don't compromise your spirituality. And don't compromise your emotional peace. You know what? Your energy, your morals, all of that, you need to get focused more with those things. Find some balance, and at all costs, prioritize your peace. Because if you don't, and you continue to compromise with people, that will lead you to a dangerous emotional state, combustible situation. Get balanced. Find your peace, no matter what. I pray that someone will send me some emails tonight, because there are a lot of people dealing with relationships where they're just compromising and they're not happy. And then when you ask them, why you keep compromising? The answer is always the same. Either I don't want to lose them, either I love them, they the best thing ever happened to me, and maybe it's my fault. Now you're blaming yourself. It's not your fault when someone treats you bad. Compromise is very dangerous. Please hit thumbs up, comment on the video, like the video, share it with other people. This might not be your story, but I'm sure it's someone that you know. And also share it with your young nieces and nephews and granddaughters and goddaughters. Because you know what? A lot of these young ladies out there, they have compromised so much until they don't even know who they are. They have lost their identity because society says they should look a certain way and they should behave a certain way and they should say certain things. And they have compromised who they should be and who maybe they were raised to be. Because everybody you see out there doing stuff, they were not raised to do so. They've compromised. And that's what we have. Everything that society say is right doesn't make it right. Stand on the word of God. Stand on your faith. And you always, always protect your peace. Don't compromise it. I'll see you back tomorrow. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm wearing a Juneteenth, a different t-shirt, Juneteenth with our colors on it. So, and my African necklace that I got when I was in Africa. Thank you all for watching. I will see you back tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.